and welcome to Headphones Suggested. I'm your host, Brendan Dudgeon, otherwise known as someone who's making their way in the world today, given everything they got. Today, we're talking about television, and I have my friend Callie on. And Callie is a new guest, so you'll get her information at the top of the show. And we're going to talk about television, as I just said. We're going to talk about television's history, its beginnings, what it's become, what TV shows are on, how we're getting TV and how we're watching it, how we're viewing it, and how much it costs. And at one point we talk about gay penguins. Okay, enjoy! That's what's great about this, like, really finding out how someone responds to me on a microphone. Because literally almost every single person who's been on instantly goes to try ASMR.
Like some things, but not really sound, more visual. Like slime. Well,
yeah.
That's like a form of ASMR without like the hearing.
So, I have a question for you. Have you ever been a woman?
Have ever been
I don't mean to exclude you. Have I?
Officer pulled me over and he went, ma'am. Have you ever been a woman?
I love it. I don't think we should explain that. Let's leave it. I'm ready. My mom is going to be so confused. She currently is, and I'm A-okay with that. Who are you? Right as you sip.
I'm like, oh, I'm Callie.
Callie, where are you from?
From Connecticut.
Connecticut. What is Connecticut known for?
Pez. We
Is
invented
it?
the Pez, yeah.
I was wondering this because, like, Minnesota is known for good people and cold. Texas is known for sand. Iowa's known for trash people. Kidding.
Pez and
I know three people from
Westport
Iowa.
white privilege.
That's always fun.
Yep.
Yeah. When is your birthday?
A lady never tells her age.
What day of the year is your birthday?
March 31st.
What zodiac?
Oh, I don't know.
I have to look this up. I ask every new person when they're on. Do you buy into all that?
No.
Like your zodiac decides your person. I hate that so much.
I like more like the Chinese New Year calendars. I think I'm the rat.
I think we're all the rat because that's by year. That's not even.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to talk?
I'm gonna cut it out if you do. I'm so sorry.
No.
This is the harsh world of showbiz. That's showbiz, sweetie.
Showbiz. I was about to say.
I can't find a single zodiac chart that has birth dates on them. Here we go. What did you say? March
31st, 99.
I can't read. March. You're an Aries.
I'm an Aries.
You're brave, independent, and impulsive, and fire. You're a fire sign. So you're lit.
Truly.
I can't wait for you to have kids and pass them on.
I'm not having children.
Let's get into that. You hate children.
Can I swear? Is that okay?
We don't swear.
I hate many a child. I will punt them.
I have kicked a child and it did not go well for me. I was never asked to direct children's theater
kicked
ever
Sienna.
again.
Does she count as a child? She's kind of childish.
Oh, we're not here to hurt feelings.
It was an accident. I kicked her right in the shin when we were doing the Cupid shuffle, and I kicked my foot back. And then I almost did the same thing this year. And I was so... I mean, that was me with the freaking shawl, though. It was not staying on. I was trying to do the Cotton Eye Joe. And
I did not know that there's
working.
a dance to Cotton Eye Joe. I just thought white trash people drove around in their trucks around cornfields.
No, there's a dance.
Listen to that song.
I make it
Because
look...
I saw y'all dancing to it. I'm like, what is this?
When I dance to it, I look like I'm back in Irish step class again. Because I'm like straight back, straight
you took
leg.
Irish dance classes?
I took Irish step for 3 years.
Do you remember any of it?
Yep.
I did a fake Irish jig in a play once.
Like when I do good Cotton Joe, I immediately go back into that thought process because
Is it a lot of legs?
It's a lot of legs and a lot of like straight posture. My spine immediately goes like this, and I'm like hands down by my side. Like,
do you have good back because of that business?
No,
do you have good posture? I have terrible posture.
I have really bad posture just because a lot of times in class I'm like slouching over my sculpture and stuff. They used to make us do this thing where we had to take a hair tie and we had to hold them by our hands, like so that our hands were like straight down by our backs.
God.
Yeah, like it was strict.
It's a disciplined dance.
Yeah, I mean we did a lot of weird things, like weird rules and stuff for dance too. Like one of the rules for recitals is that you and for photos, you couldn't wear underwear underneath your costume. Because they didn't want it like to be shown through like the leotard or like popping out or something. So even if you were on your period or something, like you weren't allowed to wear underwear. I just said screw it.
Yeah.
Would just wear like.
Well, because that's not gonna end well.
No,
that's such a ludicrous.
I remember for one recital, I wore the strapless bra because I had leotards. I didn't have like a new leotard to wear under everything. Mm-hmm. So, but the bra decided to fall halfway through the middle of the dance. So. I look like a cow with 4 udders. So we turned around for this one scene, and I just stuck my hands down real quick and pulled them back up and went, flipped back around and was like, yeah!
I was in a play once, and I was just in like a regular suit. I had a microphone, but my wife in the scene did not. She just walked in and she had like papers or something. And in the script, she just puts the papers on my desk and she doesn't do anything. But this night, she put the papers on my desk and like gave me a hug, as like a wifely hug, and she just whispered in my ear, "Your thighs down." So I sat down at my desk, also not in the script, and just privately zipped underneath the desk, just in hopes that no one calls me out on it. There was a cut here, ladies and gentlemen. We could hop into the topic.
About a woman?
No, God, no. I have a list of topics here. And my first thought was TV.
I haven't watched TV.
That's okay. We're not just going to talk about TV shows. We're going to talk about the mythos of television. I don't know when TV started. Do you want to do this? We can talk like the history of television.
It didn't.
There's plenty more topics.
TV like start coming out in like the 40s?
I don't know.
I mean, because I know before that there was like film, but that was more.
Yeah. Did they show films on TV before they showed TV shows?
They had film before TVs were invented, but you could only like go watch them at theaters and stuff.
Home television. I believe there was just a period of time in television where at night it just stopped.
Yes, it stopped. Mm-hmm.
They just didn't play. I think they played the Pledge of Allegiance or the National Anthem.
And then for 4 or 5 hours it would just be static.
Yeah.
And then they would play the Pledge of National Anthem again around like 6 in the morning to start the day up again. In a lot of like old films they do that still. Not like old. Yeah, like Poltergeist. I think they did it in The Sixth Sense for some reason.
The National Anthem plays? Or
they do it in Poltergeist. The National Anthem plays, and then it goes to static, and that's when Carol Ann goes up to the TV and is touching it and turns around and goes, "They're here." Yeah.
Oh, it's shown in the
in the film.
I thought you meant like
no, not
on
in
a
the
DVD
movie.
copy.
No. It's like it's shown in the film.
Because there's an episode of The Golden Girls where Rose is listening to the radio, and they just say like, "That's the end of our broadcast, folks," and then the National Anthem plays, and I saw it for the first time, and I had no idea what was happening. I asked my mom, and she just was like, "Yeah, it just stopped." Like, wow. Did you ever watch like older TV shows?
My grandma and I, whenever she comes up, she will only watch like black and white TV shows.
Yeah.
So I like to sit down and watch them with her. There was this one. They never like play the same ones. There was this one. It was like Detective Hawk. And they were like these kind of like short, like hour like movies, but they were good. I really liked them.
Is that one of those like noir detectives where like she walked into my office like a ball of fire, hot and quick?
No, just like detective.
Just normal. Okay.
Yeah, but they would always have like a murder. It was kind of like a Clue murder mystery all the time. Sorry, am I not? You're
at like a 21. We need you at like a 12.
12. It was like they were just kind of like almost like a Clue murder mystery. Freaking you.
That's cool. I'd love it.
Love that movie.
I'd 100. That's film. We're talking about TV. Just kidding.
PBS kids.
We don't stay on topic on here. It's like, but like not quite as crazy.
Yeah. And without all the special effects. We'll throw something.
I don't have a good editor. I have me. Have you ever seen like an old commercial for TV? They're 6 minutes long.
Oh.
If you ever get the chance, look up Betty White Pond's cold cream. It's 6 minutes of Betty White slathering cold cream all over her face, talking about how amazing it is.
Have you ever watched Japanese commercials?
Oh, they're so fast and loud.
They're so loud and random. I love watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger ones.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh. Later we have to look up a compilation. It's just mostly him eating noodles.
And yelling.
That's it.
Is he yelling in English?
No.
He's not. Oh.
But he is going, ah!
I'm sure it's really bad phonetic Japanese.
There's this one commercial where he's just a giant floating head on top of a girl. Yeah, it's weird.
What?
It's weird.
That's so crazy. I never... Super Bowl commercials.
They got
They're
worse.
seen as such a... I don't think it's as big of a deal anymore.
No.
I think there was only like a solid 2-3 years that people really cared about it. Would you agree with that, or would you say it was longer? Because I
remember when I was like younger, and then I hit like 7th grade or something, and they started getting worse and worse every year.
I feel like they peaked at the Doritos dog window one. That was the best they've ever had. Because then there was there a GoDaddy commercial where some conventionally unattractive man made out with like a supermodel, and people thought that was just so awful.
This is another one that they peaked at as a kid with Darth Vader costume in the car. That was a cute one.
That was just a Toyota one. That wasn't even like. It's just cars.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear about that one? I don't know how long ago this has been. The Campbell Soup commercial where it's the two dads feeding their son.
Yes.
And there was a huge controversy because of it.
Gay people eat soup? What?
Well, like one woman left a comment. She was like, "How dare you show this?" and something. Think about what the other children would think if you like sent that child to like their school or something. And it's like, one, the kid's like 8. They don't care.
No.
The only reason why they would care is if you put those thoughts into their head.
Exactly.
And 2, why watching this commercial with an adorable child and them innocently eating soup does your dirty brain immediately go to? Like,
and it's so interesting because it's like they were literally just eating soup. That's it. There wasn't even like a tag for a gay charity or organization or anything. It was literally just 2 men feeding their son soup. That was it. And people got so heated about it. And it was so interesting. Because it's just like, why is the reaction to literally a normal soup commercial? The only difference between like the ones from before and the ones from now is that there was 2 men instead of a man and a woman. So stupid.
The other thing is that I love how like our society tells us like it's not like, I mean, America's gotten better, but we're not the best. But many people in society like it's not natural, it's wrong. There are so many other species of animals that will prefer having a relationship with like the same sex. I mean, they will go and they'll copulate maybe, but then they'll just bring the child back to their same-sex partner.
You hear about those penguins that kidnapped a chick?
Oh my god, no.
A gay penguin couple, wanted a baby, so they kidnapped a chick. And of course, penguins are very like emotional. Yeah. So like the mother of the chick was like trying to get their baby back, but the zookeepers took the chick back and they gave it to their mother, but they gave the gay couple I'm talking about like a real like human. They gave the gay couple like an abandoned chick. So they got to like adopt basically. So that was nice. Yeah.
There's this one about like these 2 trash birds. Seagulls?
What? Oh.
Trash birds.
I thought that was some sort of species.
We call them trash birds.
Rightfully so.
I mean, because
they're trash birds.
I mean, they just eat
raccoons
trash.
Are trash bandits.
Trash bandits, trash birds. About like there were these 2 females and they had like 4 chicks And, like, one of them would go away and would copulate and then lay the eggs, and the other one would just take care of them. It was the cutest thing.
Nice. You know what I like about penguins? The woman gives birth, she lays the egg, and then the man takes care of it. Like, that's kind of fair.
That is very fair.
Like, I do all the creation work, and then you just sit on it for a year or whatever.
See, I don't want to carry a child, but if I had to carry a child, I would force my husband to go through all the same pain that I'm going through. Like,
that's fair.
You're gonna have to eat the same thing that I eat. Like, we're gonna go. You're gonna sit next to me with freaking things, the electroprobe attached to you. Yeah. And we're gonna sync this together and have a child. Like.
Yeah. Speaking of pregnancy, I Love Lucy, the first show to say the word pregnant and to show a pregnant woman.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
That was a very revolutionary show, period. It was the first show where a woman was a producer, but they had to lie about it. Because Desi Arnaz, Lucille Ball's husband, on the show and in real life, pretended she just used his name, but like she was signing all the checks and everything. Like she was getting the business done, which is very interesting. She was a real forefront on the ladies doing stuff.
I wish people talked about her more. Like, not a lot of people nowadays like know about.
No one does, and like she's kind of fallen to the wayside, which is awful because it's like her, Carol Burnett, and like so many, like even I hate to not know her name, Joan.
Oh.
She died years ago.
I kind of know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name. But, like, the thing now that people always focus on is Marilyn Monroe. They're like, she was the biggest revolutionary woman. It's like...
While she did have activism and, like, support, she really didn't do that much.
No.
She just kind of looked pretty and was like, I love them. But it's like, she didn't do anything.
She didn't do much. I mean, like, she kind of revolutionized body image and stuff because...
Yeah.
She had like,
a normal human body.
Yeah, a normal human body, but she was considered the most attractive human being.
Joan Rivers.
Is that it?
I believe so. She was great. As like a lot of people didn't love her because she was a very harsh critic of fashion. But when you look at everything other than like her run on those like fashion shows where they really do bully people for their appearance, she was the first woman to have a late night talk show. She was one of the first female stand-up comedians to really be successful, and especially on an international level. She really was a forefront on women in comedy and entertainment without being portrayed as a slut.
Yes.
Or as the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Which is really, I think, amazing.
Which is, nowadays, that's the big thing, is women comedians are like, now just like the butt of the joke.
They're really kind of...
They're almost like...
it's not their fault. It's, I think...
They're kind of like performing like Adam Sandler does.
Yeah. I think they're kind of... not quite holding themselves to the esteem that they can. Would you say? Yeah, I think it's almost like, and I think people in like a higher position in comedy aren't letting them. It was almost like you had your fun, you told your jokes, now just go back to being a bimbo, and that's not what it has to be. Yeah. Where's the Tina Feys and the Amy Poehler's?
Oh my God.
Where are they going? What's happening to them? Why don't they have a TV show together? Why is that not happening? Netflix.
Netflix, get to it.
Netflix. Speaking of television, I'm pretty much only a Netflix person now, and if I really need to watch a show, I'll go on the internet and find it, which I know I shouldn't do, but I also don't want to pay $70 a month for cable when I'm gonna watch 2 channels.
That's, like, I couldn't get Netflix on my phone until literally a week ago.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I finally, my parents gave me the login. I was like,
good. So now you're watching all that business that you haven't been able to.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch. But for the most part, I would just go on like sites and just find shit.
That's what I did for a long time. Because I don't like TV, to be honest. I'm a very like critical person. Like, especially American Horror Story. I know I need to watch Cult. I know I should. I don't want to. I watched the first 3 episodes and I don't love it, but everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it gets good in the last like 3 episodes."
Just watch the last 3 episodes.
Should I just skip to that?
Everything.
I'll read like the Wikipedia entries on everything, because I hate hearing most about a television show is you just got to get through the first few episodes, or even you just got to get through the first season. Yeah. No, if it's a good show, it should be good from the get-go. Exhibit A, Golden Girls.
Have you started? Ooh, I love Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
There's a new remix of that song, and I'm not into it.
Is there?
Yeah, it's like an R&B remix type thing.
No.
And I do not enjoy it.
Have you started watching Sabrina yet?
No.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
I have so many shows I know I need to watch in films as well.
Oh yeah.
And I hate to it's like when you go to Barnes & Noble, you're like, I have 5 books I already need to read. I shouldn't buy any more, but I'm going to buy the entire Harry Potter series in hardcover this time. Yeah. I get dragged into that.
Oh.
What would you say is your overall favorite TV show ever? If you can. Mine's The Golden Girls, and it always will be. Because nothing can beat it. Or what are some of the ones you've enjoyed?
I could totally just watch Bob Burgers forever.
Yes. That's a show that started relevant to its topic and stayed.
Yes.
And you can watch an episode from a season ago and it'll still be relevant to this day somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have good just throwaway episodes that don't mean anything. The turkey episode that kept ending up in the toilet. Terrific episode. It's only going to be a 2-day brine. It's a great show. And a terrific cast.
Yes! Oh my gosh, you're so good. Now, but every time I hear... What is the actor who does the voice acting for Bob?
He's in an Arby's commercial.
He's in an Arby's commercial. He does the voice of Archer
Yes.
in Archer. And I was watching this movie. It was claymation movie. It was I think it was called To Hell and Back. Yesterday, and he was this tree, and I was I'm sitting there, and all I hear is Bob's voice, and I was like,
because he has a very distinct voice.
Yeah,
it's not just a normal it's very distinct.
Yeah.
You can tell, and so is I think they all really have a distinct voice. There's really no mistaking that, especially because they also haven't been in that much. Kristen Shaw just has her. She's Kristen Shaw. You can't mistake her. Oh. But the men that play Tina and Linda.
Oh my
they
god.
Haven't really done that much else.
We're going to Florida. Sunshiny Florida.
What I love about that show as well is that they record that together.
Yep.
In the same recording studio. They don't do it separately like almost every other animated show. And it's genius because they get the nice improv moments, which is terrific. I think
they feed off each other so well,
and they have.
It sounds like they're having a conversation with each other.
They do what most can't do, because what most shows do is they write the script and they make them stick to it. But what they do is they give them a script and they let them do what they want to it, and then they animate around what they say.
Yeah,
which is terrific because then you get those nice mumble moments that you can't get in a lot of you can't get that in a lot of shows, which is it's terrific.
It's a wonderful show. One of my favorite episodes is when they took a bunch of fan art and they made it into an episode.
That's nice.
It was I think it was called Brunch. It was in this latest season.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember it's something about it focused around them trying to do brunch at Bob's Burgers. And they had bottomless mimosas, but they didn't water them down, so they had brunch skunks who were just drunk throwing wine glasses. It was great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But every two seconds there'd be a new different animation off of
that's awesome.
Off of the fans' art, and it was
really
beautiful.
Cool. That's a show that knows its audience and appreciates them.
Oh heck yeah!
There's so many shows that I think at this point realize that their audience doesn't have any expectations or standards for the show anymore. One of the biggest ones, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
You and I both really enjoy this show.
Yes.
At this point, they don't care. They know who's going to win within the first 3 episodes, and they just edit everything around them winning. That's why I appreciate shows like Big Brother.
I haven't watched Big Brother.
I don't either, but I've seen 2 episodes, and what you can see from just 2 episodes, production is literally trying to kill these people. It's one of the most realistic reality shows, and they egg them on, and the show doesn't pretend that they don't. They know. When a person gets kicked off, they literally pull them aside. They're like, so why do you think you got kicked out? And why do you realize why it's your fault? Like, do not hold back, and they're very honest about it, and I appreciate that. Because no one on this earth anymore believes that reality shows are reality.
Yes. Oh,
no one buys that. No one believes that. And anyone who really thinks that it is fooling themselves.
Well, did you hear they're finally ending the Kardashian show?
Are they?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
They're doing their last season.
Was that an Onion post?
I don't know. I just heard.
I don't think that show can end.
It should.
It should.
It should have ended a long
After
time ago.
that whole thing between Kim Kardashian and her sister where she screamed at her and called her basically ugly. I was kind of just like, I have no interest in any of these people. Not that I had any to begin with.
My mom and my sister like watching, they watch that. My mom loves Real Housewives. And then there's this other show where it's this crew on a boat. And
Deadliest Catch?
No, they serve.
There's a different one?
It's a yacht. And so what they do is that guests will be on there, and it focuses around the crew serving the guests and stuff, and then their drama amongst the crew.
Huh. That's funny.
It's stupid.
Do you like reality shows?
Not really.
What's your preferred genre?
I have sci-fi, like fantasy.
Ooh,
I love that.
Did you
stuff.
ever watch like Warehouse 13?
Started. Like the librarians.
Oh. What is that about?
Oh, okay, so they're librarians, but they it's like a secret library filled with like a bunch of like ancient magical artifacts.
Ooh.
My boyfriend really loved like
That's
the
cool.
movies and stuff. The TV show's okay, but the movies are good.
Movies are, yeah.
Like obviously like American Horror Story. It's gonna take me like Twilight Zone.
I love Twilight. Are you gonna watch the new series? I'm wary.
I'm nervous just because it's not gonna be the same.
Because they have two options. They can either redo every episode that's already been made,
Yeah.
or do their new episodes. Both of which I am okay with and vehemently hate both options.
Okay.
I feel like it's something they just shouldn't have touched.
No.
Maybe just re-released it or something.
Yeah.
I
And it's just like that's the big trend now is redoing shows instead of coming up with new, because it's hard now to come up with new material.
That's why there's so many reboots and like,
that's what I'm
remakes.
saying. Like that's a big thing now. Ever since one reboot came, they're like, wow, everybody really likes these reboots. We should just keep doing that. So,
but what I think they missed was that they remade shows that were so popular to begin with.
Yes.
That those shows were the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
Examples: Fuller House. I don't like that show to begin with.
No, I never even watched.
I like the show. I don't like that they redid it.
Mm-mm.
But like something like Will and Grace, they're rebooting Will and Grace currently. It's really good because they're doing the exact same thing. They literally, at the end of the original run of the series, all the main characters got married, and at the start of this new season, they were like, didn't we all get married? They're like, no. They didn't. They just pretended it never happened, which is what they should do. Yeah. Like, Fuller House, the first episode, they're like, where's Mary Kate? Or no, where's Michelle? They're like, she's too busy in New York worrying about her business career. And it's like, no one cares. No one wants to hear that business. If you couldn't get the entire cast to come back, maybe you shouldn't have done it. Maybe that was a sign that you should have quit while you were not ahead, but you weren't doing anything poorly.
I love watching cooking shows.
I do
I'm
too.
Obsessed.
Do you have a favorite Food Network show?
I love Chop.
Ooh.
And Good Eats.
Yeah, Alton Brown.
Yeah, and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Just because I've gone to a couple of places on the show, or like I'll watch it and then I'll be like, hey, like we're in the area, like let's go to this restaurant.
I like Anna Garten, even though she makes fun of you for being poor the entire show. If you can't afford the $8,000 eggs, the stuff from Walmart, it's fine. Like she's so condescending, and I love it.
2 shots of vodka. That's all I can. Do you ever, while you're watching the show, grab the food and start making it along with the show?
I can't.
There's this one time, it was midnight, and this guy was, it was Chopped, and he was like, I'm making whipped cream, and this is how you make it. And I was like, I have the things right now in my house to do this.
That's cool.
Mind you, I'm like 15.
Yeah.
So I run and I grab them, but I didn't want to use an automated whisker, so I was doing it by hand. So I was sitting in front of the TV whisking. It's 2 a.m. My mom wakes up, and I look like Caroline. Lays back down and goes to bed. go
God
to sleep.
bless.
I think she thought she was dreaming. Making whipped cream.
I used to try to write down the recipe as they would list off the ingredients, not realizing that you can go to foodnetwork.com and get a printout of the recipe.
Same.
I put so much effort into, Any final thoughts, quick, about television?
PBS Kids.
Keep it. They keep trying to defund PBS.
Yeah.
Why?
That
It does nothing but good.
That has like the good, wholesome kid
Yeah.
shows that actually teach you lessons instead of just be like colors.
I would not be
shapes.
the person I am without Fetch with Rough
Oh
Rough.
my gosh, Clifford the Big
Arthur?
Red Dog, Arthur, Dragon Tales,
Sesame Street.
Dragon Tales,
Dragon Tales.
come along and be my friend. It's so good.
We're gonna get copyright. Who texted me? Oh, Sage. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
I love having people on. I used to have people give me their socials on verbally. Now I put in the credits because no one can ever remember what they're. I always did, but I always made people like write it down before. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to Headphones Suggested. You can find my guest's social media down in the description. You can follow me on Twitter at HeadphonesS, and you can email me at headphonesuggested@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the art for this podcast, you can find the artist on Instagram at OrkyArt and other socials, which are down in the description. And thank you so much for listening.
This is one about like these two trash birds, seagulls.
What? Oh.
Trash birds.